Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we have Marisol Sanchez, owner of My Favorite Notary, located in Los Angeles, California. And she and I were talking about right now what she has going on as far as creating teams across the nation, which is so captivating to listen to. And Marisol, if you want to just say a quick hi and talk to us about the creating teams that you were telling me about.
Hi, Mary. So yes, I recently ventured into expanding from a mobile notary to actually a mobile notary agency. Now able to provide service nationwide. So yeah, that's been really what I'm working on the hardest right now is building teams all over the nation. So yeah, it's exciting. That's what we're doing over here. Sure.
So yeah, I'm excited about the podcast. You're the very first one.
This season two. Good for you.
And so let's just go ahead and jump into the questions. So question number one, Marisol, what inspired you to become an entrepreneur and what challenges did you face when starting your own business?
I feel like I've always had an entrepreneurial like blood, right? I kind of dabbled in it here and there, but I did manage my husband's family business for like 15 years. And then I feel like just time, life, at some point I needed a little bit more. And so I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna renew my notary license. I've had my notary license for like 20 years.
Wow.
And so I decided to renew my notary license and start using it on my own, and just kind of market and see where it was going to go. And it kind of just started going. It just started flowing for me. But yeah, I think for me, I was ready for change. I needed to give myself a different outlet and I needed growth. And so I just kind of went back into something I knew I was good at. And in the back of my mind, just told myself like I was going to take it as far as I could get it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Along the way, what were a few of the challenges that you started to face or notice?
I mean, initially, even making that change was a really big deal. So I was managing my husband's family business for 15 years. So even making the decision to step away was really impacting for everybody. But at the same time, I'm not happy anymore. And some hurdles are fun. Not all hurdles are hard, right? Like, I mean, hard, but not all hurdles are like bad. I mean, some of them are fun. Like, it was fun learning how to, use all these website and all these things that are out there that I didn't even know. But yeah, so I would say business wise, technology has probably been one of the little hurdles I've had to learn how to navigate. And like you and I were speaking earlier, right? Life sometimes is not nice.
Right.
So I would say about a year in, I was settling into my new schedule, my new routine, new connections. It's a whole new life. Now I'm out here making marketing. Now I'm out here meeting people. And my youngest got sick. And he was diagnosed with diabetes type 1. So, I mean, long story short, he caught COVID and it damaged your organ that basically you need to create insulin. So, but that was probably one of the biggest hurdles. I feel like that could have made me just stop and go back to my regular 9 to 5 because I was like a security. Right. So it's like, I should just quit this and I can go back to his office and just help them. And I'm safe in this little cave that is there. But, I was really determined and I'm like, no, I'm really enjoying what I'm building and we can get through this. So yeah, I mean, that was probably one of my biggest hurdles, honestly, because in the beginning, it was like I had to learn how to navigate this disease now. And be an entrepreneur.
Right.
But we're great. We're doing really good. We did it. We navigated through it, and like I said, education, like I'm not doing all of this stuff alone. I have a team behind me, my husband and my other two sons. I'm always going to tell them like, all right, this is what I need from you.
You're right, because we're not always going to have it together, and having that behind you is very, very important. So, okay, with that in mind, let me go ahead and jump into the next question. How do you balance the demands of entrepreneurship with your personal life, and what strategies do you use to manage stress and maintain a healthy work-life balance? So,
Whew.
how do you, how do you balance?
Whew, that's hard. I don't know. I really want to keep it like 100, and be super honest, because I feel like if anybody's listening to this and they're, I don't want to say like, oh, well, I do yoga in Pilates, like I have a schedule, because for me, it's hard to my life still revolves around my sons. I'm also a wife, so balance for me is just making sure that I'm happy. So some days that means I worked all day and they ordered pizza.
Right.
And some days that means I couldn't do some of the appointments and I cleaned my house. So it's hard for me to build schedules and make that be like a consistency. So for me, it's really, really just one day at a time. It's, sometimes work is my happy place and I'm motivated and I'm working as hard as I can, and I'm out till midnight, but I'm so happy because I'm so fulfilled. And then there's some days I didn't work because nobody called, but my house was clean and there was a nice hot dinner on the table for everybody and I'm fulfilled. I think that's how I navigate through it. I make sure that I am happy.
And that's very important to share, because when I started with the business coaches, the mentors, saying, hustle, 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 have multiple streams of income. And I did. And yes. I burned myself out, and I wasn't listening to my body. I wasn't listening to it. So that's a super awesome point. And we'll go ahead and jump into the next question. How do you build and maintain a strong network of business contacts, mentors, and advisors? And what role has this network played in your success?
Again, kind of just going back to step one, I'm always in search. I'm always, if I come across people that have the energy that matches my level, somebody that knows how to do or is teaching how to do something that I want to learn how to do, I don't hesitate to follow them, reach out, show up to their next conference, join the lives. I go looking for it. And so maintaining it would be, like I said, not losing that connection, checking in on people. Hey, how have you been? How are you doing? And then building those relationships and those connections with people on a deeper level than just business. True. Because also you get to see the vulnerable side of these people that originally you would see as like, oh my gosh, I want to be like that. And when you reach out and you make connections and you build these relationships on a personal level, you start to realize that we're all kind of doing the same thing and having the same struggles. That would be building and maintenance for me. And what it has done for me is everything, from the smallest thing. There was this girl I met on social media and started following her, was really intrigued because she's like the social media guru. Like she just knows all these hacks and all these things. And I was so intrigued by her. This is Elena Ortega. Yeah, her Instagram is like your homegirl, Elena. So I actually, we talked about her at my event. And it's so the smallest detail. So I started following her and I was like, oh, she's so funny, her reels, her this, her that. She's local. So I went out of my way. I bumped into her at an event one day and I went out of my way to like, hey, so she could remember my face, like, hey, I really, really appreciate you and the stuff that you're teaching people. And, I would love to collab. I would love to this. And little by little, so she does classes every Wednesday. I just started showing up. And I can honestly say that really gave me, one, so much confidence. And two, it like took me to the next level because there's all these techie things that I thought were so complicated that are so easy that I would have never known if she wouldn't have taught me. So, yeah, well, let's see. When you change your Instagram to entrepreneur, no, when you change your Instagram to a business Instagram
from
page,
personal to business,
yes, you lose all the cool music. And so everybody was complaining, right? Like, how are we supposed to make these cool videos? We don't have. So she taught us this hack. If you go into make it a business account and you change the status to entrepreneur, it gives you access to all the music and you're still a Instagram business account. So that was really cool. So little things like that, but it just makes you feel like, oh my gosh, I could teach this to somebody, right? So yeah, I mean, I think that the connections I have made and the circle that I have handpicked for myself has really been the biggest catapult that has had influence on my entrepreneurship journey.
So before going to the other question, you said my event. Can you talk a little bit about what that's about?
That was God, that was like a dream come true. I don't know when the itch started. So I had went to a notary event locally and made really good friends with the event host. And I remember sitting in the event thinking, I want to do this. I have learned so much. And I have a passion for I want to show other people how to do it because I feel like if I could do it, really, it's not that hard. You just have to try. Yeah. And so, I think that's where the itch started. And I was like, I really want to do this. I think I can do this. I think I can do this. I think I can do this. And I probably had maybe over a year just talking about it. And I would tell my friends, I'm going to have a women's event and, watch. And so the end of 2022 for New Year, I decided 2023, I was going to do it scared. That was my motto, do it scared. So 2023 rolls around and I talked to my husband because, that's my team, my husband and my kids. And hey, I know I've been talking about this for a long time, but I'm going to show up tomorrow to the venue and I'm going to put a deposit and there's no going back. I have no flyers done. I have no idea where this is headed, but I know if I put a deposit on this venue, we're not going back because I'm gonna set a date. Right. And I did. And yeah, it's scary because I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I doing this? So, I really don't have a need for this, but I wrote down, I made a little strategy. It forced me to learn how to make Canva, learn how to use Canva. I had already kind of started playing with it, but once I launched this event, it forced me to learn how to use this, right? So because that's how a lot of entrepreneurs are making flyers and posts and stuff like that, right? And so yeah, so I just started promoting it and making videos and DMing people and just hey, you should come. I had women that have helped me along the way to grow, that I felt had so much information that genuinely I feel like all of us should know. And I reached out to them personally, hey, I would love to have you come and educate these group of women that I'm going to get together. Yes, 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 yes. So I booked them,
Amazing.
and yeah, we just started selling tickets. So yeah, so I had a women empowerment event. I gathered up all these women. We had lunch, we had drinks. I educated them on financial planning. I educated them about estate planning. We had a life coach there kind of ground us and make us really reflect on who we are, where we're going, and how we're going to get there. I had one of the girls there. I'm going to put her Instagram out there. It's at Melanie's Cake Pops. So
Okay.
she had a really good cake pop business, got really overwhelmed with it, and it was almost like not fun anymore. Like it was to the point where it was more, it was not a positive impact in her life anymore because it kind of took over. So she kind of took a hiatus. And 10 years later, she comes to this event and she's like, I'm ready. And she rebranded herself and she set limits off the get-go. She set her limits. And now she, like I said, and now there's all these websites and all these things that we have access to that make marketing so much easier. And girl, she's back at it like she never left. Yeah, so the event was really motivating for everybody, including myself. It went way better than I anticipated, and I don't know, I might do it again.
You should do it again. You will do it
Yeah.
again.
The thought is in there.
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
That
it
would
was a
be
good time.
10 is a good one. Okay, we'll wrap up with 10. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and ask you the last question.
Mhm.
What advice do you have for other aspiring female entrepreneurs, and what resources or support system do you recommend for those just starting out?
I would say just like having a clear vision is really important. The vision changes along the way. Initially, my vision was to be able to make enough money on my own to compensate for the paycheck I left behind. And once that was achieved, the goal became, let's see how much I can surpass the income I was left behind, because it's exciting. Like, oh my gosh, I met that goal. Okay, let's see how what I can do. And so even though your vision changes, I would say just making sure that the vision is clear is really important. And I can't stress enough, like the community you build as an entrepreneur, if you work in an office, your circle of people are the people that work there. But if as an entrepreneur, the circle I've built around me and the people that I go to when I have questions or that I need some clarity or I need motivation, like those people are handpicked by me, so that's crucial. I think staying connected to your circle that helped motivate, get you to where you're at, is really important. So consistency, and sometimes we need a break and that's okay. And then just knowing that if you've built this circle and these are people that you chose, I don't see taking a break and coming back even being a big deal, right? Because these are your people. Like it's not, you know what I mean? It's not a coworker that you didn't choose. It's
Right.
these, like we were talking a little bit earlier, it's people that are going to be like, hey, are you okay? All right, take your time, see you when you get back. Like, it's your people. You chose those people. So your circle, look for it. Sometimes you join, like there's a lot of BNI groups. There's a lot of like community groups. There's a lot of networking groups, so you kind of try them out. You go, you feel the vibe, you see what they talk about. And if it's not for you, it's okay to try somewhere else, and keep trying until you find your place. And when you find your place, you build from there. And I would say that that's really important, is to make sure that you are surrounding yourself with the vision that you have.
Right.
Yeah. I think
that's great advice.
Yeah, that's really important. Yeah. Because we were saying earlier, sometimes we want to, change the world, and
Yes.
and we take more on than we're ready for.
Right.
Doesn't mean we can't change the world, just means, we need more time to make that happen. So I would say really like take control of that in your life. And that makes a big difference.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right, Marisol. And with that in mind, those thoughts in mind, that's really, really, really great advice. Is just knowing you and talking to you. You are somebody that cares, and you are somebody that I'm lucky to know. So
Oh, Mary,
very grateful for you. Yes, I'm very grateful.
Same, because you were there in the beginning. You were actually one of the first people I reached out, and you were so helpful. And then I think back then, and it was like I didn't know where I was headed yet. I have a clearer vision now. But yeah, I'm very grateful for you too, Mary. Very grateful for you too.
And that's why we're still friends. We're still
here. We're still growing.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, the vision is not complete yet, right? I know you have big visions too. You're a big dreamer, and I appreciate that because, you motivate. You really do.
Thank you. So with that in mind, I just want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast and being a part of this. You are the OG for season 2.
Love it.
I'm so happy that we were able to connect today and make this happen. Can you just quickly say your social media handles?
Yeah. So mostly I'm on Instagram. That's my home. At notary.marisol. And so yeah, I mean, for all the notaries out there, we spoke a little. I'm transitioning from a mobile notary working for myself to now trying to build dreams for me and any notary nationwide that's willing to come along the ride. Really, this year is going to be a lot of marketing, a lot of growth, and I'm so excited to be able to create wealth for everybody else too. Yeah.
Perfect. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Marisol.
So welcome.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
You deserve all the best. And we're going to go ahead and leave all of your information on the description area. That way people can start following you and get started motivated. I'm sorry. Motivated. That's a hard word. Word. But yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate you. And we'll talk soon. We'll talk next time that you have your second event coming up.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So we will see. Maybe it will be an annual thing. We don't know where this may go. But yeah, definitely the events are fun. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate you, Marisol. And with that, I'm just going to wrap up. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thank you, guys.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.